EGM Network.
This is Martha Matters. From real estate, healthcare, current events, taxes, or just about any topic, we're talking about it. Call us with any questions on just about any subject. Now, here she is, Martha!
Well, hi there, and welcome. Hey, I can't help it but say that so much has happened the last couple of weeks, actually few weeks, that I have to talk a little bit about politics, and I really hope things get straightened out. First of all, historically, our country, as it became the number one nation in the world, it developed with both parties, the Democratic Party and Republican Party, having about equal say and checks and balances on each other. Both parties had some excellent ideas in the beginning of this country, and both had to compromise on some of the issues that one party liked and the other didn't. And it didn't matter that it was Republican or Democrat. Just like the Supreme Court is a check and balance on all of Congress making laws, so the Republicans and Democrats were checking each other, and they get along well in the checking. They don't call each other Nazis. They don't call each other liars, cheaters, criminals. This is actually ridiculous, what happens today. We've got to get back to two moderate parties that have a different slant on helping people, and that is it. There's no such thing as one party being fabulous and the other being no good. And the voters out there, believe me, it is rough. They used to be diehard Republicans and diehard Democrats, and now we don't even know what to do. And all we know is in the last election, the general public prefers the promises and platforms of the Republican Party right now and not the Democratic Party. There were times, like after Jimmy Carter, we weren't happy with his philosophy as president, so a Republican got in, which is Reagan, and then we went through 3 cycles in a row of all Democratic. Clinton had some excellent ideas. Most of us didn't agree with everything. We don't agree with everything of any of them. But Clinton had some good ideas in terms of welfare status. He said all those that were not physically disabled or mentally retarded who are collecting welfare, they need to work 20 hours a week in order to keep their HUD housing, free housing, rent, and to keep their Medicaid and medical benefits. And that was fair if they were all able-bodied and willing to work. And for those that were, it changed them. Way back then, I had a small HUD apartment complex I owned myself. We're talking like 30 years ago. And it was a very successful program. And when some of them went back to work, they weren't super skilled, but they worked on stocking shelves in Walmart and Target. And once they started work and had their own paycheck, in addition to HUD continuing to provide rent, they were tickled pink. In fact, they ended more than half of them, about 60%, got totally off of welfare and went full-time. They developed a social life with comrades where they worked. They loved taking home a paycheck that's larger than what welfare gave them. And it was a very successful program. And I say successful because I saw it with my own eyes. One of them made enough money that they took their one and only son out of public school and put him in private school to do better. And they have the psychological satisfaction. They're now working class and middle class. They're not one of these people in the doldrums eating off of other people's tax money. And that's what some people ended up telling them when they were 100% on welfare. You know, shame on you. I'm more disabled than you are, and I work. I get my own employment. And it embarrassed them. And so that program of Clinton was absolutely excellent. Then even the Republicans agreed with it. That's when our country was well run. Then lo and behold, then Obama came along and eliminated that program. If you need to be on welfare or want to be on welfare, go on it. Go ahead. And that was a major, major mistake. But it was Obama's philosophy. And then things continued to get worse. We went through the bushes before then. I said go through the bushes, and it isn't meant to be a pun. we had the father and son as Republican presidents, and that's when the beginning of the media went anti-Republican, like they are today, but trying to change a little, or at least a couple of them are. But the whole philosophy, including under the Bushes, Republicans are good, Democrats are no good. Democrats are good, Republicans are no good. Mm-hmm. And then after that, from Obama right through Biden, the extreme name calling, criminal. A criminal is running for president. A Nazi's running for president. Biden is absolutely, totally enveloped in dementia. And all this different stuff, mm-hmm. Some of it was true, some of it was not true, but the big point that came across to the average voter is both parties were very disrespectful of each other. You say one wrong sentence, oh, we're going to impeach you. That's not government. That's not what impeachment is. And we went through, under Obama and Biden, we went through even the Trump's first term, all these fake, they ended up being fake. We didn't know it at the time. Fake impeachments that were actually put together by the Democratic Party. Not today, but back then in Trump's first term. That was the real demise of the Democratic Party, because none of them could be trusted. They were making up stuff to kick President Trump out. And they thought they were successful in the first term. They tried to do it in the second term after Biden and start calling him, oh, he's impeachable, oh,
Right.
he's a felon, he's a German Nazi.
Right.
And that is all totally false. And finally, the general public, it doesn't matter if you're educated or uneducated, if you think for yourself and you're aware and you have employment and you care, you are turned off by all this name calling.
You know what, Martha, I want to interject too, and this is my opinion. A lot of times, depending on which broadcast you listen to, it's so slanted, it isn't even really journalism any longer, in my opinion.
No,
You know,
it's propaganda. It's not news.
Yeah, propaganda is a strong word, but I mean, it's like you're not talking about what is the best thing for the country. You're talking about how this particular person is ripping it apart, or how this person can't show up to the program or whatever. And I'm like, that doesn't perpetuate a good country. It's not even reporting the news.
Right. It's not reporting the news.
No.
It's not good for the country. And what's reached the point right now that really disturbs me, which is why I'm on this broadcast with this topic, is very simply right now the Democratic Party didn't have a head or somebody in charge, and right now AOC, Alexandria Cortez, and Bernie Sanders are trying to get to be the ones in charge. And while AOC is further left than Bernie, really all their ideas, this woke, which is now passé, and many other ideas are nothing but communism and socialism and making an end to this country. Several months ago, when Biden and Kamala Harris were still in charge, if they were elected, they would literally be taxing all this unrealized income that working class and middle class, yes, many of them are in the stock market. It's not for the wealthy. It's for the working class and middle class who care. And unrealized wealth to be taxed and keep record of it, and next year unrealized wealth added to that would be taxed again, and the country would be in straight chaos, and we would lose the middle class, which is what democracy is all about. We would have the working poor and the poor, just like Russia does, and the top 24 people would be billionaires with everybody's tax money. That is communism, and that is socialism. I don't care where you go to Cuba, the people are working poor, barely have enough food, but the few at the top are more comfortable than most of us put together, and less educated also, without proper credentials for administration. I went to Russia, and I've said this a couple of years ago on another podcast. I've got to say, what Russia calls their middle class is poorer than our country's welfare people. What? Yes. The entire country of Russia does not have an electric grid strong enough that each family can have a clothes dryer. Every single house you go by, the clothes are out on the line, air drying, even in dead winter. Number two, in addition to that, they consider a comfortable middle-class home like an 800 square foot apartment is here. Most people in welfare have at least 2 bedrooms and at least 1,000 to 1,300 square feet, some larger. What their apartment of a middle-class person looks like is like a 2.5-car garage with a bedroom in one corner, a kitchen in another corner, a bathroom in another corner, and a living room in the other corner where kids or additional family members sleep on the sofas or couches. And that is a comfortable middle-class house. And they don't even have room dividers. They just have a curtain going around the bathroom. So the whole place will smell and know what's going on in the bathroom. No vents. Nothing. And they are middle class. They're very happy. They're married families that stick together. When they have a wedding, the wedding is out in the Kremlin, which is a park. I don't know if you know that, but the word Kremlin means Central Park. So every village, every town has a central park where they walk their dogs just like we do in parks and so forth. But they have their weddings there, and not hot food, but sandwiches and snacks, and that is the reception out in the park. And almost 90% of the weddings are like that. They're not in catering halls. They're not in anywhere that's under covered buildings or protected from the weather elements. So all these weddings, yes, most of them are in the spring and summer because of the weather, but you also have to deal with rain and alternative times for the wedding at a last-minute change. That is middle class in Russia, and middle class that Kamala Harris was talking about. Well, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes, and I want to tell you what I'm looking forward to, not the negatives. Stay with us. I want to introduce you to our main sponsor, Highland Plaza, located on US 1 on the east side of the Highland Drive traffic light. We even have our own left-hand turn lane. One of the places in there, the first one on the north side, is Easy Stop, and you will be surprised what competitive and beautiful prices they have. You should give it a shot. Also, Tony's Hairstyling Salon is ideal for the entire family at all ages. He and his wife have run a salon there for years with a huge following. Also, we want to tell you about La Taberna Restaurant. It has the freshest Mexican food in town and a well-experienced chef. You will be most surprised not only by the food, but the reasonable prices. Also, I want to tell you about the nail salon. It's Luxury Nails. Let me tell you, they do everything, both for walk-in clients and appointments. Appointments are really appreciated, but they treat all clients professionally. Now, I want to repeat to you, this is located on US 1, just east of Highland Drive at the traffic light. It's a beautiful yellow building with a maroon awning. We look forward to seeing you there. Come on over.
Evergreen Media is your go-to for podcasting. Business owners, boost your brand by educating clients with your own show. Just show up. We handle everything else. Get your custom video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and more. Start today at egreenmedia.com.
What's on your list? Ice cream? Laughing so hard it hurts? The way the sun feels on your face? For one child, a simple list of brilliant things becomes a lifeline, a way to bring hope to his mother, and maybe to himself. Every brilliant thing is a funny, heartfelt journey through life's ups and downs, where you help tell the story. Now playing on the Waxlack stage at the beautiful Riverside Theater. Get your tickets now at the box office or riversidetheater.com.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. EZ for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
Hi there. Welcome back. I want to get up to today. What I really want to see is not a far-left Communist Democratic Party. I want to see a nice, good, strong, moderate Democratic Party, just like Trump and the Republicans now are moderate. They're not far right. They're much more moderate. Why? Yes, you can still get abortions. You can still have preventive measures for getting pregnant. You can still have the morning after pill. Everything is available. The far right would want not a single abortion of any kind. We don't believe in that. There are mistakes, and people have the right to correct mistakes. We need the same thing with the Democratic Party. We don't need socialism in order to have democracy being successful. Democracy needs a strong middle class. We need more Fettermans in the Democratic Party, or people to speak up like him, and keep the far left in their place if they have to exist, just like the far right in their place if they have to exist. But when we have a majority of moderate, both parties being able to give and take and not be upset at not getting everything everybody wants, that's when this country can be successful. If we try something that one party really wants and it doesn't work, be flexible to try the other opinion, and maybe that will work. And historically, we have developed beautifully with that philosophy, just beautifully, with the Industrial Revolution, and now more especially automakers all coming back to the United States. Much of Silicon Valley's coming back to the United States. Like, you name it, technology and research is coming back to the United States for curing medical diseases. This is all what we want, and it doesn't matter which party you represent. But stop saying one party is good and the other party's no good at any cost. That is destruction at its best. Stop it, people. And I'm talking about congressmen and others, senators and party members of both parties. Stop corrupting and bad-mouthing, and please, let's get together. So on that note, have a great day, folks.